A boy from a quiet town in Serbia. No spotlight, no hype, no expectations. He wasn't the fastest. He wasn't the strongest. He didn't even look like a future superstar. On draft night, his name wasn't announced with fireworks. It appeared quietly during a commercial break. No one celebrated. No one predicted greatness. But years later, that same overlooked boy would control the entire NBA. Not with power, not with speed, but with a mind the game had never seen before. This is the story of how an ordinary kid from Serbia became one of the most unstoppable superstars in basketball history. Before the arenas, before the fame, before the MVP chants, there was just a small town. Simple life, simple routines, simple dreams. Basketball wasn't even the center of everything at first. No massive training facilities, no global attention, no pressure to become great. Just a kid learning the game slowly, naturally, quietly. And maybe that's where everything started. Because while the world chased speed and power, he learned to understand the game. From the beginning, he didn't move like other players. He wasn't explosive. He didn't jump high. He didn't dominate physically. And because of that, people doubted him. Scouts questioned him. Experts ignored him. Analysts overlooked him. But what they didn't see was how fast his mind was moving. While others practiced moves, he studied decisions. While others focused on scoring, he focused on control. And slowly, the difference began to grow. Draft night should be loud. Bright lights, big announcements, huge reactions. But his moment came quietly. So quietly, most people didn't even realize it happened. No big celebration. No headlines screaming his name. Just a selection and silence. It felt small. But sometimes, the quietest moments create the biggest futures. Because from that point forward, everything changed. The NBA is brutal, fast, physical, unforgiving. It exposes weakness immediately. And when he stepped onto that stage, many believed he wouldn't survive it. Too slow, too different, too unconventional. But then something unexpected happened. He didn't try to match the speed. He slowed the game down. And when the game slowed, he began to control it. Game by game, season by season, people started noticing something strange. Defenders were confused. Coaches were adjusting. Teams were changing strategies. Because this wasn't normal dominance. It wasn't built on athleticism. It was built on awareness. He knew where players would move before they moved. He saw openings before they appeared. He made decisions before pressure arrived. And suddenly, the player no one believed in was becoming impossible to stop. Superstars are usually loud. Highlight dunks. Flashy plays. Big personalities. But his rise was different. Quiet confidence. Smart decisions. Relentless consistency. No unnecessary drama. No desperate attention. Just performance after performance after performance. And one day, the league realized this wasn't just a good player anymore. This was a superstar. Opponents began studying him. Defenses focused on him. Analysts tried to explain him. But explaining intelligence is harder than explaining athleticism. Because you can measure speed. You can measure strength. But how do you measure a mind that reads the entire game? That's when respect turned into fear. Because once a player controls the thinking of the game, he controls everything. His journey became bigger than basketball. A message to every player who felt overlooked. You don't have to be the fastest. You don't have to be the strongest. You don't have to fit the perfect image. You just have to understand the game better than everyone else. Because greatness isn't always born in spotlight. Sometimes, it grows quietly far away from attention, until the world finally notices. From a quiet Serbian town to the biggest basketball arenas on earth, the journey wasn't loud. It wasn't easy. And it definitely wasn't expected. But it was real. Built step by step, decision by decision, game by game. And now, that same overlooked kid stands as proof that intelligence, patience, and belief can change everything. Not just a player, not just a superstar. A story that reminds the world where Greece